the Bureau in the next 2 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished delegate of Samoa. Other delegates, please, who would like to take the floor? I see none. Thus, I would like to thank the committee for supporting my nominations, and I declare that the Committee on Statistics has elected by acclamation the following distinguished delegates to serve on its Bureau. As Chair, Ms. Aishat Shahuda, Chief Statistician of the Maldives, representing the Maldives. 3 Vice Chairs, Mr. Alexander Surinov, Director General of the Federal State Statistics Service, representing the Russian Federation, Mr. Young-Soo Park, Commissioner, Statistics Korea, representing the Republic of Korea, Mr. Suryamin, Chief Statistician, BPS Indonesia, Statistics Indonesia, representing the Indonesia as Vice Chairs. And members, Mr. Simon Johnson, Government Statistician, National Statistics Office, representing Vanuatu, and Ms. Teresa Dickinson, Deputy Government Statistician, Statistics New Zealand, representing New Zealand as member and a rapporteur for the current session. Should I do something like that? Yes. Thank you very much. On behalf of all present, it is my privilege to congratulate the elected members of the Bureau and to extend my very best wishes for success in the important work ahead. Before I invite Ms. Aishat Shahuda to come to the rostrum to take her place as the chair of the 4th session of this Committee on Statistics, please allow me to say a number of personal words as the outgoing chair. It has been a great honor for the Philippines to serve as the chair over the last 2 years. I take note with deep appreciation the leadership of my colleague, Ms. Carmelita Ericta, former administrator of the National Statistics Office of the Philippines, who served as chair before me. In the past year, serving as chair, I have been frequently overwhelmed with admiration by the levels of expertise, enthusiasm, and commitment in our community here in Asian Pacific. My thanks to all of you for providing such a rich source of inspiration. I would like to single out the 2 other countries that served with the Philippines in the past years in the Bureau, Mongolia and Samoa. May I invite you to give them a round of applause. I also would like to particularly thank friends and colleagues who also helped the Philippines in chairing, and I would like to give my special gratitude to the Secretariat for the great support. Your generosity of spirit and supportive attitude has ensured that our Bureau is vibrantly working in between our sessions. With this, I would like to invite Ms. Aishat Shahuda to come to the rostrum to take the very special place as the chair of the 4th session of the Committee on Statistics. May we give her an applause. Thank you.
His Excellency, Vice Minister of ICT of Thailand, Mr. Kwan Sombun, Mekpai Bunwatana, Mr. Stefan Waste, Director of the UNSD, and Dr. Anis Chaudhary, ESCAP Director of the Statistics Division. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the Philippines, Ms. Lisa Bersalis, our outgoing chair of the committee, and Ms. Carmelita Ericta, the chair of the third session of the committee, for their extraordinary leadership in this committee and the Bureau. Under their leadership, we have been able to make a lot of progress. I also join Lisa in thanking ESCAP Secretariat for their hard work and support they have provided us during the interim period in our work. I congratulate the other fellow members who has been elected for this Bureau. And on behalf of my fellow Bureau members, I thank you all for the confidence that you have placed in us. We pledge to honor your trust in discharging our responsibilities with dedication. Being elected as a chair of this committee, it's a very big honor for the Maldives. And as the chair, I will do my best to ensure that this session generates concrete decisions that shape the future of the statistics work in our region. For this, I look upon each and every one of you, all the delegations represented here, for your cooperation, support, and active engagement in a spirit of regional solidarity. As we embark on this new development agenda beyond 2015, we are required to jump gears, and for this, we will need a lot more balance, a lot more coordination. I believe that with proper coordination, as Stephen has already highlighted, coordination, collaboration, and teamwork, we will be able to successfully deliver on the agenda that we have set out for the statistics development in our Asia-Pacific region, and that in this process, we leave no country behind. May God bless us in our work. Thank you all. So, with these few words, I would like to start with item C. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let us now turn to the agenda item 1C on the adoption of the agenda. As presented to you in the document E/ESCAP/CST4L1. Are there any comments on the agenda from any delegation? I see none. So I take that the agenda as contained in E/ESCAP/CST4L1 is adopted with the as it is.
It's to you, sir. Very good. It's your first decision.
Yes. So actually, this concludes the opening session. So thank you all for your attention. And then there's going to be a group photo and a coffee break. So before moving to the agenda item 2, this very important agenda item, strategic direction of the Committee on Statistics, I would like to hand over to the Secretariat for any announcements that they might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Very briefly, you'll be happy to know that the UN Conference Centre is like a cruise ship and it offers many facilities. For example, there is a bank with foreign exchange services, which is on this floor. There is also a souvenir shop on this floor. There is a Muslim prayer room upstairs. There is a coffee shop on this floor and downstairs if you want some quiet space. Now, if you have any questions, I would encourage you, please, to seek out the staff of the Secretariat. There is a desk just outside of this room to your left, and there will be staff available to answer any questions. And also, I would encourage you to get a copy of all of the documents. Each delegation has been provided with one set of documents as part of the UN's Paper Smart initiative. As we move on to discussion items after this break, I would also request that delegations that wish to speak under the forthcoming agenda items to please complete this small slip that is on your desk and submit the slip over to the session staff over there. Could I also draw your attention to two events that are taking place today as part of the committee session. First, at 1:30, the last half an hour of lunch, there will be a short overview provided by the International Labour Organization's Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific on the 19th International Conference of Labour Statisticians and focusing on the resolution concerning statistics of work, employment and labour underutilisation. Then, once we finish the committee session today at 5:30 p.m., the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN and ESCAP are proud, in the spirit of the partnership which underpins their work together on agricultural and rural statistics, to invite you to a cocktail reception in the public foyer, which is downstairs. The event will be accompanied by a documentary film on agricultural statistics in Bangladesh, which has been produced by FAO. Now, as mentioned by the Chair, we're going to have a group photo. Many of you may recall the slogan from the Ministerial Conference on CRVS in Asia and the Pacific, which was, "Get everyone in the picture." We must adhere to this message. So all delegates are invited to join the group photo, which is going to take place at the steps just outside of this conference room. We have staff there to direct you to your place. Following the photo, we are providing coffee and refreshments to revitalise you for the important discussions ahead. And may I kindly request that you all return to this conference room in 20 minutes at about 10:20 so that the Chair can begin the next agenda item on time. Thank you for your attention. All the best.
ครับครับเดี๋ยวเจตจำนำขึ้นมาครับครับ
So thank you. Shall we start?
Okay, I'll find them.
Yeah. So welcome everybody back from the coffee. I hope that you are all refreshed and we are ready to proceed to the substantive part of this committee session. Before we take up agenda item 2, I would like to bring to review the guidelines for speakers and participants. Each agenda item, sub-item will be introduced by one speaker. And each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes for an oral introduction of the agenda item or sub-item. Speakers will deliver their introductory remarks from their seats, and the introductory remarks should focus on the main issues related to the agenda item at hand and on the expected focus and outcomes of the committee's deliberations. Interventions from the floor will be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes per delegation, and should there be a very high number of interventions, then as the chair, I may have to decide at my discretion and as needed to reduce the time allocated for interventions. And the delegations wishing to register for the interventions prior to the beginning of the agenda item may do so with the Secretariat at the conference office desk here, located on the left, using the provided form. The delegates who register prior to the relevant agenda item will be given priority when interventions are taken from the floor. I would now give the floor to Mr. Anish Chaudhary, Director of Statistics Division, ESCAP, to make a brief statement concerning the documentation of this session. Dr. Chaudhary.
Thank you, Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. We have a large number of documents reflecting an ambitious agenda that the Bureau of the 4th session of the committee has set in consultation with all committee members. As you will have noticed, the meeting documents have been issued late due to the length of time it took for expert consultations, including the expert group meeting convened in preparation for this session. We are aware that the late issuance of some documents may have made it difficult for some delegations to consult and prepare their statements and positions prior to this meeting. We apologize sincerely for this late issuance and want to minimize any impact for the outcome of the committee. I also sincerely hope that you will understand the reasons for that delay. As we said, this committee is meeting at a very crucial time. We needed to have a very good consultations of the experts on the matters that we'll be deliberating today and over the next 2 days. We have consulted the Bureau of the Committee for advice on how the present session can be conducted in the most effective manner. The Bureau members put forward the following suggestions. On issues where negotiations are inconclusive and where it is clear that the lack of preparation time is a main contributing factor, the committee may wish to entrust the Bureau to continue consultations after the conclusion of the session, either directly or through establishing a subgroup of particularly interested member states through a Friends of the Chair mechanism. We thank the Bureau for their excellent advice and support. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary, for that. I believe that now we are ready to take up the item 2 of the agenda, the strategic direction of the Committee on Statistics. In order to ensure that the committee members have sufficient time to thoroughly consider the item, which is relevant to many of the following items submitted for the committee's consideration, this item has been allocated 1 hour and 40 minutes in the program. So to facilitate the discussion on the topic, the Bureau has prepared several documents, E/ESCAP/CS2 for 4/CR2. That is the key document. And in addition to this, there are 7 information papers that have been provided as background and context to our discussion. They are contained in the documents E/escape/CST4/INF/4 through to 10. These information papers collectively aim to summarize the main aspects of statistics development at national, subnational, regional, and global levels relevant to the Bureau's proposals, and do not need to be formally considered by the committee. Given the importance of this item and the active role of the Bureau overseeing the proposals put before the committee for consideration, I would like to suggest a small change in the guidelines for speakers that I outlined a little bit earlier. And I would like to invite Ms. Lisa Bersalis, National Statistician of Philippines and our outgoing chair of the Committee on Statistics, to join us on the rostrum to give a short introduction, following which I will open the floor for comments. Thank you, Ms. Bersalis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for inviting me to give this short introduction to the 19 proposals submitted for the committee's consideration and endorsement today. As mentioned earlier, the document that we are using for reference for this discussion is in E/escape/CST4/CR2. Distinguished delegates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, this document has been compiled following extensive consultations, including that of the 47 experts in development and statistics convened by the Secretariat in preparation for this 4th session of the committee. These experts considered the opportunities and challenges for statistics development in Asia and the Pacific in light of the emerging development agenda beyond 2015. And their recommendations have been submitted to the committee in document E/escape/CST4/INF/4. So that's another reference document, reference to what we will be discussing, CR2. As summarized on the screen behind me, the Bureau's proposals are presented in 4 groups. So there are 19 proposals, but we have classified them and presented them into 4 groups. Proposals 1 to 3 relate to the coordination of the committee's regional programs and initiatives. They re-emphasize the relevance of the 2 overarching strategic goals the committee decided upon in its 2nd session and the regional initiatives established by the committee to achieve them. The Bureau's proposals will ensure that these initiatives encompass any new capabilities required as a result of the development agenda beyond 2015, and that they are implemented in the most effective and efficient manner, in particular when addressing cross-cutting institutional issues common across the regional initiatives. Proposals 4 to 11 recognize the opportunities to develop a national statistical system for each country resulting from data revolution. These include opportunities to capitalize on the high profile of the data revolution to secure greater investment in statistics, and the opportunities to improve the range and quality of official statistics by making use of new technologies and data. These proposals will improve efficiency and effectiveness of data production and dissemination, lead to more effective fundraising to support the committee's regional initiatives, deliver better coordination and collaboration among development partners, supporting national statistical development plans, and emphasize the active role of national statistical offices in determining and directing the support provided by development partners to areas where it will have the greatest benefit. Proposals 12 to 15 seek to formalize the measurement and monitoring of statistics development, and in so doing, to support implementation of the development agenda beyond 2015. They establish the scope and governance of monitoring and the roles of key stakeholders in developing measures of statistical development. Awareness across the entire development community of the progress being made towards statistics development goals, priority issues requiring additional resources and investment, and the consequences of failing to provide that investment will be critical in ensuring national statistical systems are provided the resources they need to support the development agenda beyond 2015. In this regard, Proposal 15 of the Bureau's note specifies mechanisms for using the annual Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development as an outlet for the committee's work on monitoring statistics development and to enhance user-producer dialogues. Finally, Proposals 16 to 19 seek to strengthen the Committee on Statistics, including Proposal 19, to further align regional statistics development with global ones by convening an annual session of the committee in line with the Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development and the United Nations Statistical Commission. Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention and strongly recommend the 19 proposals I have briefly outlined for your endorsement. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Bersalis, for your concise and helpful introduction to the 19 proposals contained in the Bureau's note under Agenda Item 2. Now I would like to open the floor for your comments. Sorry, Ms. Teresa, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm delighted to be one of the first to congratulate you on your election to chair of this committee. And I'm very, very confident, Sharuda, that you'll guide us through our discussions over this next few days very wisely, and we'll make some very good decisions. So turning to Agenda Item 2, New Zealand welcomes the report and compliments the Bureau on drafting a thoughtful document on this very important topic. And New Zealand did contribute to some of the thinking that underpins the paper through its chairmanship of the steering group of the Regional Programme on Economic Statistics and through attendance at the EGM in December last year. The current report accurately captures the conclusions of the EGM, which inform the report's proposals. New Zealand agrees with and supports the overall content of the report and the direction provided by the proposals. In particular, we want to highlight areas where we feel that we can offer strongest support. Proposal 1, which reconfirms the strategic direction of this committee, with its strong focus on capacity development via a number of regional programs. We agree that there is scope to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of the programs, including their interaction with the partners, and support the review proposed by the Bureau in paragraph 10. We also lend our particularly strong support to proposals 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, which pertain to leveraging the data revolution. These proposals confirm the key role, the ownership and leadership that national statistical officers need to take in any capacity building programs, and also the importance of the development partners aligning their work programs to assist with national priorities. New Zealand believes that these facets will be critical not only to this committee achieving its strategic goals, but also to meeting the additional aim of successfully developing the monitoring indicators which are needed for the post-2015 agenda. We also strongly support Proposal 12, which sets out the need for an overall monitoring framework to capture progress on achieving the committee's goals. As set out in paragraph 36, this framework needs to cover both institutional and infrastructural elements, as well as linking to the performance indicators of the domain-specific regional programs. An effective monitoring system can serve two roles. Firstly, a guide to the regional programs and other capacity development initiatives by identifying gaps and shortcomings, and secondly, as an assessment tool for this committee to monitor progress towards achieving well-resourced and well-functioning statistical systems. However, New Zealand notes the following. The 19 proposals cover many aspects of statistical strengthening, especially when the requirements on us of the post-2015 agenda are included. And we believe that it will be very, very difficult to make strong progress on all 19, and therefore we counsel prioritisation by the Bureau and by the Secretariat. The review of the programs that are put forward in Proposal 1 to be entrusted to the Bureau is critical, as it potentially impacts on the scope and governance of the regional and associated programs. And from that review will follow a greater understanding of how coordination between and across programs in different domains might occur. In that regard, New Zealand sees that there are three options. There's the option, firstly, the option that is outlined in Proposal 2 of the paper for this agenda item, which is each Bureau member taking responsibility for enhancing coordination for one or two groups. We also note that there's the possibility of setting up a new cross-cutting coordination group akin to the coordination mechanisms currently in place around training and for development partners across the region. But we do note that a new special purpose group would add to the governance and administrative burden for the region. And this is especially true given that any such new group would need to be at quite a high level, for example, the chairs of all the various program governance groups. A third option may be to use an existing group in a slightly different way. For example, to consider a modification to the terms of reference for the SABAP group, which we're going to talk about under agenda item 3F, I think it is. Such an existing group might then play a wider coordinating and advocacy role across all the programs, managing the cross-cutting institutional and infrastructural aspects of those programs. Now, New Zealand is currently agnostic on which option might offer the best mechanism for coordination across the programs, but we do consider that until the review that is mooted in Proposal 1 is completed, it might be premature to action Proposals 2, 4 and 15, as they are currently worded, as this may preempt the recommendations that come from the review. Notwithstanding the above points, New Zealand reiterates that it is strongly supportive of the content and direction of this report, and we commend the work of the Secretariat authors. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm sure the Bureau will consider all those into account. Next on my list of speakers is the distinguished delegate from Myanmar. I give the floor.
Thank you for the chair. If you want to congratulations for the election of the chair. Chair, Excellency, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Myanmar delegation, I want to congratulate the Commission for the organization fourth session of the Committee of Statistics. The system of Myanmar is decentralized system. Almost all ministry, health, planning, and statistics department statistics needs for their ministry are being combined independently by each ministry to serve in their own planning purpose. Just to collect in accordance with the Central Statistical Authority Act 3250, now played a key role in the system. CSO always trying to produce socio-economic and economic data to be able to monitor the existing condition of the country and timely and reliable data for social and economic effective planning for the development of the country. For the the strategic goal and coordination of the region. The government laid down the 4 economic policies since 2011. The 4th policy is quality of services and service system. The quality for the accurate and quality services was found in 12 July 2030 with the aim of the laying down the policy for economic development of the country and crucial for cooperation and reliable services. And the committee had already laid down the 3 tests. The first, re-engineering national services system, update the Act, development services master plan, so-called national strategy for the development of services. We are trying to restructure the central system organization starting from the EPA 2050. The structure of central system organization will be upgraded to the township level. With the technical assistance of the Asia Development Bank and CSO in driving Myanmar Service Law, and now the draft of Myanmar Service Law has been finalized. With the assistance of the World Bank and EDB, CSO is implementing national strategy for the development of the services. The last population census in Myanmar carried out by the Population Department in 1973 and 1983. After the gap of 31 years, Myanmar conducted the 2040 population and housing census starting from the 12 March to 10 April 2050 with the assistance of the UNFPA. The provisional result is released in August 2040 and the main result will be released in May 2050. We are also conduct the household income and experience survey once in every 5 years, and now we are conduct the Myanmar Poverty and Living Conditions Survey was conducted by the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development and the World Bank with the sample size of 3,648 households starting from the December 2040, and now we are also conduct the household livable survey in 19 survey for the starting from the January 2050, and now we are Ministry of Health also has conducted the demographic health survey with the sample size of the 3,000 households, and the operation will be started in February 2050. By the statistics also, now we are undertaking a modified vital registration system in cooperation with the Department of Health and with the support of the UNICEF. Now now we have found the coordination committee on vital and death registration, and headed by the Deputy Minister from the Ministry of Immigration and Population, and also now we have the capacity development of the CSS, and now we are the CSS Institute of Economics is the main center where specialized training given in statistics leading to vehicle statistics degree and bachelor of population science and diploma in statistics. Senior and middle level staff members of central organization have been trained at the Institute of Economics or abroad. CSO also and the other line ministry also dispatch its staff to participate in training workshops and seminar provided by the government and UN organization, and also moreover, CSO also conducted the training on basis and applying statistics to the staff of CSOs and other 11 departments with the assistance of the ADB. Also, this is the only need for the better and more complete information to be used of the National Comprehensive Development Planning and to meet the demand more systematic and well-coordinated system with better facility and more trained members is essential. At the same time, there is a need for public awareness of the value of statistics, and cooperation is trying to collect them. At present, the government of Myanmar is closely working with the development partner. The government of Myanmar would like to invite the donor community to invest in Myanmar to strengthen the system.
Thank you, distinguished delegate. I think it is important that we focus on this, the agenda item here. Yeah. And then if any country has like detailed or any country experiences, it is, you can share it with the secretariat, so it will be taken into consideration and in the discussions and work of the Bureau.
Yeah.
So now, on the distinguished, we have on the list distinguished delegate from France. So I give the floor to France.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like also to congratulate you for your nomination. I would like to concentrate my statement on the post-2015 indicators. France has been actively participating to the international works that takes place for the definition of the post-2015 indicators. And I will speak on behalf of my colleagues who participate to these works. For many countries, the challenging in the coming years will be to calculate these post-2015 indicators in the best possible way. One of the strongest demands of the countries has been the data ownership, and it has been acknowledged. To reach this goal, one suggestion would be for the country to actively participate in the governance which is being set up to define these indicators in reference for what has been discussed and approved during the last Statistical Commission in New York. We would like to encourage the countries to take part to the group that will define the indicators, and as well to the high-level group which will monitor these indicators. We would like also to encourage the countries to answer the surveys that are intending to take into consideration countries' concerns. We are aware that these surveys are quite burdensome, but it is very helpful for the groups that are defining the indicators to have your answer. The MDGs contributed to the real statistical improvements, and the SDGs are more ambitious. And to benefit from the ripple effect, countries need to actively contribute to these groups to make their concern in the selection of indicators acknowledged and to benefit from the share of experiences. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, the delegation of France. Now I give the floor to Japan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At first, we'd like to congratulate for your election as chair. We are very excited and looking forward to working together with you and other colleagues for a statistical community in Asia and the Pacific regions. And we'd like to express sincere gratitude to hard works for these 19 proposals. And at the same time, we feel that, as far as we can see, while some proposals are recognized to be endorsed in this committee, for example, Proposal 13 may not be, at least right now. In addition, we'd like to make some comments on Proposal 14 and 19. Regarding Proposal 14, we'd like to make 3 comments. Firstly, we'll make efforts to contribute much as possible to the process of consideration of the indicator for the post-2015 development agenda. For that purpose, it would be necessary for policy-making sections to be involved in the process, as well as statistics sections of member states and associate members. Also, transparency of the consideration should be ensured as much as possible. Our second comment is that not all member states and associate members have all data related to the indicators for the post-2015 development agenda, and the needs for those data differ among the members. Therefore, members' policy priorities should be respected in utilizing those data. Lastly, we think it is necessary for ESCAP to collaborate with other international and regional organizations for monitoring the post-2015 development agenda in view of efficient and effective work. Next, we'd like to make comments on Proposal 19. The government of Japan recognizes that the Committee on Statistics will meet biennially based on the resolution of the 2008 Commission session as part of the restructuring of the conference structure of the Commission. We are concerned about the increasing frequency of sessions of the Committee on Statistics for the following reasons. Firstly, increasing the frequency of sessions of the committee runs counter to the current direction of the ESCAP reforms, including shortening of the duration of the commission sessions. Secondly, even for members and associate members and the ESCAP Secretariat, increased frequency would increase the financial costs and the staff time. However, Japan does understand the necessity of the timely regional deliberations on statistics concerning the post-2015 development agenda. So, my delegation proposes that the current frequency of the sessions of the committee be retained and ad hoc meeting be held if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Japan. Now I would like to invite Australia, Ms. Gemma.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And on behalf of the Australian Government and Australian Bureau of Statistics, can I also extend my congratulations to your appointment as Chair. Our thanks to the outgoing Chair, Ms. Basalis, and all the members of the Bureau, and to the Secretariat for your paper. The committee has before it a paper containing 19 proposals by the Bureau, and Australia thanks the Bureau for the paper and synthesising the outcomes of the various dialogues which have taken place in preparation for this meeting. Australia supports the intent of the 19 proposals. In relation to Proposal 1, to maintain the existing regional programs and groups functioning under its auspices, Australia notes that we have a large domestic transformation ahead of us in the Australian Bureau of Statistics, which must have our priority, and the challenge this brings to contributing to regional and global initiatives. So Australia would welcome proposals that better integrate and coordinate the various regional programs to ensure maximum impact from the resources that can be directed towards them. In this regard, we acknowledge the comments made from our colleague from New Zealand into regard to the need for an effective coordination mechanism. Australia welcomes the involvement of Bureau members in the regional programs. Furthermore, and having regard to the factors cited by the Partners for Statistics Development in Asia Pacific in their report as determinants of successful collaboration, Australia would welcome a regional platform through which development partners and stakeholders can identify their role and their contribution. In relation to proposals 12 through 15 for monitoring statistics development as a means of implementation for the development agenda post-15, Australia notes that the Bureau is seeking the chairs and co-chairs of the committee groups to design a monitoring framework for the objectives of the committee, whereas it's asking the Secretariat to focus its contributions on the newly formed Independent Expert Advisory Group on Sustainable Development Goals. Australia notes that international agencies such as the UNESCAP will only be observers on the IEAG, whereas member states will be full members. Australia will encourage country-level engagement with the IEAG. We also encourage the use and reuse of existing internationally agreed indicators and frameworks, as well as the use and reuse of existing reporting mechanisms as a priority over creating new indicators, new frameworks, or new reporting mechanisms. Australia supports the proposal that member states get more engaged in existing initiatives such as the high-level group, expert groups, the city groups, UNSD-led initiatives, and our own city group that we have here in the region, the Ulaanbaatar group. It's important to ensure that the regional statistical capacity issues are known as this global agenda is agreed to. And this message is echoed in many of the regional papers that we'll discuss under Session 3. Finally, Australia, as co-chair of the Technical Advisor Group on Population and Social Statistics, notes the efforts of Paris 21 to help build institutional capacity in our national statistical systems and encourages the Bureau to work with Paris 21 to give effect to Proposal 12. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Australia. Now I would like to call upon Pakistan. Mr. Jan.
Thank you very much. It gives me immense pleasure to congratulate Ms. Shahuda of Maldives on assuming the position of chair of the 4th session of the Committee on Statistics. I'm confident that under your able stewardship, the committee will successfully complete its proceedings. I assure you full cooperation of my delegation in deliberations of this meeting. I also felicitate other members of the Bureau and appreciate UNESCAP Secretariat for their untiring efforts in preparing documents for the session. Data collection and statistics are key to monitoring and evidence-based policy making. The global community is currently in the process of formulating diverse statistics which could fulfill the future needs of sustainable development in line with the evolving post-2015 development agenda and SDGs. In this regard, regional collaboration through technical assistance, capacity building, and exchange of best practices can play a key role in realizing national and regional objectives. However, the development of statistical indicators in multiple fields is a long and technical process which should be completed in a phased manner. It is also essential to incorporate views of all delegation to set the future direction of committee and to make the process more inclusive. While supporting the two strategic goals of the committee, the expert group meeting has rightly suggested that implementation of committee's goals should be better integrated to build synergies and to ensure no duplication of efforts. Pakistan gives a high priority to the national statistics at all levels. And for this, Pakistan already took a number of initiatives, starting with the changing of law and initiating new Act 2011. Looking to the importance of national statistics, ESCAP took a number of initiatives in this regard in which Pakistan participated actively. Pakistan support the proposal in this report in principle with true spirit of participation. I hope that the committee will be successful in his future duration. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate of Pakistan. Now I would like to call upon the Russian Federation, Mr. Surinov.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Прежде всего, я хотел бы присоединиться к другим делегатам и поздравить вас на избрание в качестве председателя комиссии. Мы также выражаем благодарность секретариату за проделанную работу по подготовке предложений, отраженных в этих 19 пунктах. Разработанные на глобальном уровне цели развития после 2015 года потребуют детального мониторинга и формирования качественных и оперативных данных по широкому кругу показателей, охватывающих все направления прогресса общества, включая экономику, экологию и социальную сферу. Глобальная статистическая система, вовлеченная в этот процесс в 2014 году, стоит перед серьезными вызовами, связанными как с формированием всеобъемлющей системы целевых индикаторов прогресса, так и с адаптацией существующих организационных и методологических подходов к новым требованиям времени. На 46-й сессии статистической комиссии в марте этого года группой друзей председателя по более широким показателям прогресса и другим глобальным рабочим органам предложено более 300 показателей устойчивого развития. Проведенный анализ текущего потенциала статистических систем по информационному обеспечению мониторинга прогресса показал, что далеко не все из предложенных индикаторов формируются национальными статистическими системами. По большому числу показателей предстоит организовать дополнительные детальные консультации с различными производителями официальных статистических данных внутри стран. Хотели бы также призвать обеспечить максимальный консенсус всех участников всемирной статистической системы относительно набора глобальных показателей, которые должны характеризовать процессы, измеримые во всех странах. Также рекомендуем при дальнейшей работе особое внимание уделять методологическому описанию каждого из предлагаемых индикаторов, включая уровни разработки и детализации, что позволит добиться единого их толкования всеми участниками процесса. Хотели бы обратить внимание на отмеченную рядом стран на прошедшей сессии Статкомиссии ООН озабоченность масштабом предстоящей работы по формированию новых индикаторов, что повлечет за собой дополнительную нагрузку на статистические службы стран и потребует дополнительных финансовых расходов. Спасибо.
Thank you, the distinguished delegate of the Russian Federation. Now on my list is Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, Mr. Reza.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to thank the Bureau for their work on the proposals. The proposals could have an important role to progressively achieve the committee's two strategic goals, and Iran support them. I'd like to raise one point about monitoring framework. We think monitoring framework should be designed in such a way that the created indicators for monitoring can be disaggregated by all NSOs in the region, such that NSOs can be ranked by them. This ranking might lead to more coordination and actively participation at the national level for further effort to approve their rank, and so as a result more quickly achieve the goals of the committees. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from the Islamic Republic of Iran. Now on my list is distinguished delegate from China, Mr. Zheng.
Thank you very much, Madam. And 首先呢，要代表中国代表团祝贺新一届主席团的诞生。中国国家统计局呢，将积极的参与和配合新一届主席团，做好接下来2年的这个地区的统计工作。关于我们这个正在讨论的这个议题呢，有4个建议。首先呢，我们原则同意报告提出的19项建议。这个2015年后发展议程呢，涉及所有的国家和地区，是一个很重大的决议。亚太统计委员会呢，应该积极发挥区域的协调作用，与区域各个国家和地区的统计机构紧密协调合作，以保证呢本地区2015年后发展议程的顺利实施。那么第2点建议呢，就是现在呢我们知道监测指标呢正在这个积极的确定和选取过程中， 在这个选取的过程中呢，我想我们一定要作为亚太地区呢，也要积极的参与，尽早的介入，这样呢才能够把指标呢监测指标选取好。因为呢，指标的多少、指标的合适与否，直接呢关系到我们能不能够做好相应的统计监测工作。而作为亚太地区呢，有很多国家和地区的统计能力，相比一些发达国家而言呢，还是有距离的。所以我们一定要平衡好指标的多少和统计能力之间的关系。在这个问题上呢，我想一个原则就是要尽量的做到少而精，少而管用。就像洛桑经济学院他们一直在沿用的一个 HDI 人类发展指数一样的，只有寥寥4个指标，其实呢，在评价各国的这个人文发展的情况上呢，还是很有用的。他们只有人均 GDP 啊，人均预期寿命啊，受教育程度啊等等。这是第2点我想说的。那么第3点我想说的呢，就是鉴于呢这个是2015年后发展目标呢是与1000年发展目标相关联的，所以说呢我们在选择目标的时候呢，应该更多的关注1000年发展目标上没有取得明显成效的一些领域，这样呢也使得后发展目标和1000年发展目标呢有一个有机的衔接，同样呢能够保证后发展目标能够补上在实现1000年发展目标时候的一个短腿，以便呢更好的发展。第4呢，就是在亚太地区啊，包括我们在积极参加全球确定这个后发展目标的框架和总体目标的时候呢，应该给各个国家呢，留足够的时间和弹性的空间。确实，如果指标定得太高，时间定得太紧，很多发展中国家呢，可能很难完成这些指标。这样呢，我们在评价各个国家之间呢，就会有的国家没有数据，这是很成问题的。所以说呢，这4个问题，我想呢，都是值得我们关注的。好，谢谢主席。
Thank you very much, distinguished delegate from China. Now I would like to call upon the distinguished delegate of Bangladesh.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the permission to say a few words. It's my great pleasure, and I take the opportunity to congratulate you on your appointment as Chairman of the Committee of Statistics. I do hope and believe that under your leadership, statistics will have a new direction. I can assure you full support on my behalf and on behalf of my delegates of Bangladesh and other members to support to success your tenure. I also congratulate to other members who are also nominated and give thanks to ESCAP for their effort to make the meeting a success. Regarding this proposal, Bangladesh have no comment and supports this proposal, and Bangladesh will play an active role to implement the coming post-2015 Sustainable Development Goal. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Bangladesh. There's no other country delegation or in the list requested for speaking. So, is there anybody who would like to say something? So we are ahead of time. So thank you very much to... Yeah. Even though you the distinguished delegates are not right now prepared or would like to say anything, the opportunity to say something in writing is always there. The director is saying that, so please make use of this opportunity if any thoughts or suggestions come to your mind. So I would like to thank all the countries that have, 10 countries actually have expressed, distinguished delegations have intervened and expressed your concerns on the SDGs and the work program and the 19 proposals. So I would like to give the floor to Ms. Bersalis to provide us with a brief summary of the key points raised under the agenda item 2. Ms. Bersalis.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and to the different delegates that provided very vital inputs for the consideration of the Bureau. The discussion resulted in the following. The committee strongly supports the overall focus and direction of the Bureau proposal. In particular, the focus on institutional capacity strengthening. Different delegations gave specific comments for the Bureau's consideration. A highlight for the first group of proposals, proposals 1 to 3, is that there should indeed be strong support to implement well the two overarching goals of the committee. So agreement is that the two goals remain relevant. There is a great amount of comments on the second group of proposals, and they all talk about the importance of the different countries' participation in the deliberation of the framework for the indicators in the Sustainable Development Agenda. Of concern, common to all, is the fact that many of our member states may not have the full capacity to deliver on all the suggested indicators for the Sustainable Development Agenda. And there is therefore some very specific proposals to streamline this list, to make sure that the indicators for the global monitoring have the full support of the different countries. Also, a suggestion is that MDGs and the HDI would be considered in the streamlining. There is also a strong call to participate, for Asia and the Pacific to participate in any surveys related to the finalization of SDG indicators. They may be tedious and long, but the encouragement is that we will be heard through these surveys. There is also a call for Asia and the Pacific to actively participate in the two proposed bodies or groups that are to be created. These are the interagency, IAEG on SDGs, as well as the high-level network. So there are these two groups that are proposed from the 46th session of the UNCC Commission, and there is a call for us to actively be heard there. Some reservation was mentioned regarding Proposal 13, and there is a call for the Bureau to look into this particular proposal, number 13, where we are to encourage monitoring efforts to make use of existing mechanisms and frameworks. There is noted the need to align and actively contribute to global indicator definition and monitoring. Also, there is a specific encouragement proposal to collaborate with Paris 21. There is a very specific proposal as well that in the monitoring framework, the NSOs be encouraged to provide disaggregated indicators, and that the different NSOs be considered for ranking based on this to ensure a good work by the countries in attaining a sustainable development agenda. The other very important suggestion as regard prioritizing our activities in the note of implementing Proposal 1 is to review Proposals 2, 4, and 15. This would mean that we have to look into the best way of addressing cross-cutting versus domain-specific initiatives. The other comments are on the concern on the increasing free, okay, this is about Proposal 19, and there is a proposal for the Bureau to look into this proposal, given that the annual meeting will, or an increased frequency of the session will actually be counter to some of the ESCAP reforms, and this will entail increased financial cost. However, the concern for Proposal 19 is not, I believe, a strong disagreement. Instead, the proposal is for the Bureau to consider our usual session, but to call ad hoc meetings if there is there is a need for the countries to come together to discuss important issues. The committee also decided that subject to the outcome of the review of the Bureau, we are to look into the proposals as regards moving forward for the Bureau to prioritize the proposals, the 19 proposals. The committee also recognized the role of regional collaboration on the SDGs, and thus we should really have strong participation and the discussions with the other regions and the international level as regards the SDGs and how to achieve those. Bottom line would be that countries should be consulted, and that there is agreement of the final list with consideration of the varying capacities of the different countries in producing the different indicators. With that, Madam Chair, I would like to thank you and the committee.
Thank you, Ms. Basalis, for that detailed summary and then the important points highlighted. As we still have about more than half an hour left, so we will move on to the next agenda item, so we can cover the agenda maybe faster and finish early. We now take up the agenda item 3, regional initiatives, and the sub-item A, progress in implementing the regional program for improvement of economic statistics in Asia and the Pacific. To facilitate the discussion under this agenda item, there is one document, E/ESCAP/CSR CST4/2, Progress in Implementing the Regional Program for the Improvement of Economic Statistics, prepared by the Steering Group for the Regional Program. May I now invite Ms. Patjagal Badam, the Senior Vice Chairperson, National Statistics Office of Mongolia, who is also the Coordinating Committee member of the Steering Group for the Regional Program on Economic Statistics, to introduce this topic on behalf of the Steering Group. Distinguished Delegate, Ms. Padma.
Thank you, Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce as a co-chair the report of the Steering Group on the progress in implementing the regional program on economic statistics in Asia and the Pacific. 2014 has marked the end of phase 1 of the implementation of the regional program. And this report is a complete record of the activities and the results achieved in this first phase. Thanks to partners, donors, and the Secretariat, that we expect to start the second phase with significantly increased regional funding for the program, which will help accelerate country-level implementation. For our efforts to lead to a stronger national statistical institutions, the strategic alignment and mobilization of financial resources and expertise have to come at all levels. It is essential that the regional program outputs and the core set of economic statistics are reflected in national and sub-regional strategies, and that we take into account emerging policy demands for statistics, such as the implications of post-2015 development agenda and data revolution in keeping our program up-to-date and relevant. With this background, the Steering Group would be grateful if the committee could provide advice and guidance on modalities for obtaining increased political support and investment in the development of economic statistics, confirm its commitment to concrete steps for implementing the regional program at the national level, including the full integration of the core set of economic statistics in national plans, such as the national strategies for the development of statistics, and provide advice and guidance on how to actively support increased effectiveness of regional coordination, especially through creating stronger links with sub-regional statistics strategies and plans, and to provide recommendations on how to ensure that the regional program supports the implementation of the development agenda beyond 2015. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Badma. I now open the floor for comments. Recognize the distinguished delegates from New Zealand. Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. New Zealand strongly supports the report and commends the Steering Group on the progress made to date. It's a bit disingenuous to do that because as Chair of the Steering Group, New Zealand wishes to place on record its appreciation for the constructive input from all the Steering Group members, particularly the co-chairs from Mongolia and India, and also for the professional guidance and input provided by the ESCAP Secretariat. In addition, we wish to acknowledge the support given by both the partners in development and the various regional bodies that have recognised the aim of the program and are working with the Bureau to achieve those aims. In particular, the support provided by the Russian Federation and the United Kingdom Department for International Development merits special mention, as their financial assistance to the program has provided resources to design and to deliver a number of the program initiatives. And it's through those two tranches of funding, previously or earlier the Russian funding and more recently the UK funding, that means that the economic program has been able to extend its work quite quickly. One of the initiatives funded by the Russian Federation was the high-level meeting for coordinated implementation of international standards, which was held in Vladivostok in September last year. And New Zealand wishes to draw to the attention of the committee the outcome statement, where the commitments from participating countries in the region to developing integrated economic statistics were made. And we note that one of the discussion questions here is about commitment, and one of the pleasing aspects of this program is that we feel that there is already very strong commitment from across the region. That outcome statement also highlights the importance of coordination within the national statistical systems and amongst development partners. New Zealand supports the position taken by the steering group that the successful implementation of the regional program on economic statistics rests largely on its acceptance and adoption at national level. And while regional and bilateral support will be very important in assisting some countries to develop their capacities to produce the core set of economic statistics, the sustainable production of these statistics will not occur through third-party interventions alone. As paragraph 19 of the report emphasises, the incorporation of the regional program and its core set in the national planning process is primordial, not only in order to make the regional program tangible and emphasise the sense of ownership by the country, but also to enhance coordination amongst the development partners. New Zealand strongly supports this message. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates from New Zealand. Now I have in the list of speakers distinguished delegate from Australia.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Australia thanks the steering group for the Regional Program on Economic Statistics for its first written progress report on implementation of the regional program. We'd like to particularly thank the leadership of the Chair from New Zealand and the Vice Chairs from both India and Mongolia. Australia would like to note the importance of skill development in the regional program. In this regard, Australia is committed to the development of e-learning courses to cost-effectively expand the reach of skill development opportunities within the region. We are looking to ensure that any training or skill development activities which we contribute to, such as the strengthening of business registers, are done within an e-learning context. Australia looks forward to continuing to support the activities of the Regional Steering Group for the improvement of economic statistics in Asia and the Pacific.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Australia. I think you have highlighted a very important point on e-learning. Thank you for that. Now on the list of speakers, I have Russian Federation, distinguished delegate from the Russian Federation. You have the floor.
Спасибо, госпожа председатель. Но прежде всего хотели бы выразить благодарность руководящей группы по экономической статистике за проделанную работу по подготовке доклада. Мы поддерживаем систему мер по реализации региональной программы на национальном уровне. В частности, считаем продуктивным движение в направлении интеграции основного набора показателей экономической статистики в национальные планы. При этом следует учитывать, что страны региона фактически формируют стратегии развития своих статистических систем в соответствии со стандартами различных международных организаций. Эти стандарты, хотя не противоречат рекомендациям региональной программы, могут отличаться по составу показателей и в ряде случаев методики их расчета. Например, практическая реализация единых стандартов СНС 2008 существенно различаются в разных странах, как по темпам внедрения, так и по набору счетов. Особенно это касается сателлитных счетов. В связи с этим считаем полезным направлением концентрацию усилий по формированию стратегии развития и координации на субрегиональном уровне в рамках региональной программы. Это позволяет более полно учитывать региональные различия в характере потребностей и особенностях развития национальных статистических систем. Росстат поддерживает опыт проведения адаптированной глобальной оценки системы национальной статистики на примере Монголии. Считаем ее проведение полезным, а полученный опыт применимым для региона в целом и в рамках мероприятий по реализации региональной программы по экономической статистике. Наша позиция по вопросу о реализации региональной программы после 2015 года состоит в необходимости не только продолжения, но и усиления работы по стандартизации процессов статистического производства и унификации информационной базы стран. Это будет, по нашему мнению, способствовать сближению уровня развития национальных статистических систем, а также более полному удовлетворению обоснованных информационных запросов международных финансовых и экономических организаций. Спасибо.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from the Russian Federation. Now I have on my list distinguished delegate from Timor-Leste.
Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity. Firstly, Timor-Leste would like to congratulate your appointment as the chair for the fourth session. The Timor-Leste welcome and support the report of the regional program for the improvement of economic statistics in Asia and the Pacific by the steering group for the regional program on economic statistics. Timor-Leste confirm our commitment to concrete steps for implementation of the regional program at the national level. On this respect, indeed, Timor-Leste recommend to continue for the program capability and capacity building for ASEAN and Pacific through the UNCCP for make sure the regional program will be implemented aligned with the international standards and the development agenda beyond 2015. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Timor-Leste. Indeed, it is with CEP we have been coordinating at country level, so I hope, I thank you for your comment. Now, in my list of speakers is distinguished delegate from the Islamic Republic of Iran. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank the steering group for their work and report. I'd like to raise some points about business registers. Strengthening of the business register is a part of modernization of production of statistics and plays an important role in producing some statistics for SDGs. But there are few experience in some countries about business registers. The number of conference, workshop, training course about business registers is low in comparison of other topics in economic statistics such as SNA 2008. There are needs to increase experience sharing about that. Some countries have developed their business registers and their experience can be useful for other countries. So it is suggested that an informal expert group under a steering group be formed and share their problems and experiences about business registers and maybe produce and prepare guidelines for implementation of business registers based on experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from the Islamic Republic of Iran. You have highlighted a very important point, like business register is like a backbone for the economic statistics development, which was highlighted in the discussions we had at the economic steering group as well. So in the list of delegations who wishes to speak, there's none in already said, so is there any delegation? Okay. I recognize the distinguished delegation from Sri Lanka.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute my ideas on this national account subject. And I take this opportunity to congratulate the chair for appointing chair. And I recently we had some seminars on national accounts in Sri Lanka, and I heard that when we want to revise the base year, then form the new series of national GDP, then the audience or the public, they may raise some questions, or they don't have some knowledge on how to interpret those statistics in the new series. So we want more training on how to on advocacy to the parliamentary and other members of the society. So advocacy part, we need training for the government officers in producing, using national accounts. I think that is the main problem we have in our country at the moment. So I think training part on communication on national accounts is very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Sri Lanka. I fully agree, and indeed we are also having the same experiences on the need for advocacy, especially at the parliament levels, and I'm sure many countries are in the same situation. Now we have a distinguished delegate from Samoa. You have the floor.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. From Samoa's case, we strongly support the proposal by the statistics, despite the fact that I'm also part of the steering group. But you know, in collaboration with the countries and partners, you know, we came up with this very strong proposal, and Samoa is in a position that we support the proposal. However, I think the second part of my intervention is more related to all parts of the domains, all domains of the statistics, and this is in particular in relation to very small island countries. I think I raised this yesterday, but I just want to record for this meeting that we're looking at core sets of different statistics. We're also looking at how we can address the issues that are concerned at different levels of countries. However, we have to acknowledge the fact that there are countries which are too small in such a way to produce all these core statistics, which I could see the support of the partnership with the donors in terms of financing. There are initiatives that are already being implemented at sub-regional level, which we all aware of, which is the South-South initiative. But I think what's lacking there is the financing side, which could attend to have this financing side. And I am saying this because most of the Pacific Island countries, NSOs or National Statistics Office, are comprised of only one person, 2 or 3 at the max, despite the fact that there are also big offices in the region which could accommodate what's being proposed, not only in the economics but in the other domains of statistics. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished delegate of Samoa, for highlighting the issues and challenges of the small island developing countries. Now, in the list of speakers, I have a distinguished delegate from India.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As we have already the report on board, and this report and the steering group has already identified and sort of underscored the main challenges to coordinating the technical cooperation activities within the ESCAP region. And among the challenges, I think the lack of knowledge about the regional plan, capacity deficit, and insufficient coordination at the national level are the most crucial. And if you see against this backdrop, how the recommendations of the steering group can support the development agenda beyond 2015 is a matter that needs to be considered with a lot of caution and introspection. It's in our view that the national strategies of the development of the statistics needs to be reset. On the one hand, for addressing the issues concerning the economic statistics, particularly the issues related to capacity deficit and lack of coordination, and on the other hand, for the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. While there is considerable merit in the idea of realigning these strategies for the sectoral objectives, such as the objectives which have been identified for the economic statistics sector, it is also important that they can be and should be done keeping in view the SDG indicator framework that will be coming up and the agenda of development post-2015. In this context, efforts need to be made for cooperation among countries for integration of trade statistics and other business statistics in particular. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from India. Now on the list is distinguished delegate from Malaysia. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair and our Commission members. Malaysia took note on the implementation plan of the regional program for the improvement of economic safety in ASEAN and Pacific region, and which I recommend a phased implementation by 3 milestones, years 2014, 17, and 20. And in fact, Malaysia also, together with SIAP, coordinate the program for capacity building in our statistical institute. Malaysia fully support and acknowledge the recommendations stated in the document, particularly the importance of the enhancing coordination among development partners. And just for information, in view of the improvement of national account statistics, Malaysia remains committed to a full implementation of SNA 208. The first phase of SNA 208 implementation was started in 2012 with the partial incorporation of the recommendation outlined in SNA 208. Acknowledging the recommendation of goods sent abroad for processing, GFP, under 208 SNA and BPM6, Malaysia started to incorporate GFP treatment during the rebasing of GDP for 2010, and which we were going to release in May 2015. Improvement of economic safety in Malaysia was broadened with the introduction of GDP by income approach in 2014. And for the business register, as mentioned by the delegates, I think this the committee should Malaysia recommend that the committee should take into consideration, because the utmost important for the NSO to do the good sampling, design, and so forth, business register have to be in place. And finally, Malaysia fully support the national implementation plan and the monitoring framework being developed, and agree with the strategy being adopted. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Malaysia, for your comments. As there are no more comments from member states, I would like to invite the delegation from UNIDO to take the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also join other delegation to congratulate on your election as the chairperson of the Committee on Statistics of ESCAP. ESCAP has given the great priority to economic statistics I fully welcome on behalf of my organization the report you have submitted, and also congratulate you as a global data collector in UNIDO. I can say that the economic statistics in this region is much better than many other world regions, and it is thanks to your effort given to economic statistics. At the same time, I would like to mention that economic statistics did not get due priority during the 15 years of MDG, because MDG itself was more inclined to social statistics. And especially, except national accounts, many sectoral economic statistics were lagging far behind than other statistical fields. In the SDG proposals, you might have seen that there is a mention of a very strong presence of economic dimension of sustainable development. It talks about industry, it talks about infrastructure, energy, trade, and I hope these dimensions will bring the issue of economic statistics much to the higher profile. And it is a high and right time for us to talk more about the economic statistics and give the due priority. And I hope your initiative will really be effective in the area. Thank you.
Thank you, the distinguished delegation from UNIDO. Now I have the distinguished representative from DFID.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank the Secretariat and the Steering Group for the regional program for putting together such a good proposal for DFID to support. Also wanted to thank the support from the members for taking forward implementation of the regional program at the national level. And I'd just like to encourage you to incorporate the program into your NSDSs and to support your national focal points for taking it forward, and in particular to support them in coordinating the regional program at the national level. Thank you. I look forward to working with ESCAP and taking forward the regional program.
Thank you. I recognize the distinguished delegate from Cambodia.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for giving me a floor to say something. I would like to say that in terms of improvement of economic statistics, I also strongly support from various spokespersons about the business register. I think business register is also a key issue for improving economic statistics. So far in Cambodia, we also have conducted the peer reviews meetings by the ADBs. This to help me to conduct the business register statistics. But I think that in order to improve economic statistics successfully or in sustainable manners, I think statistical laws strengthening is statistical law strengthening. There is no exception, and I think from country to countries might have a different characteristic of statistical laws, and at the same time, an SDS also have to strengthening, and economic statistics must mention clearly in an SDS, and also joint monitoring indicators also have to be done in order to make sure that an SO has achieved our activities or not. Other thing, I think that when we're talking about the economic statistics, we may not assumption about the agriculture and environment statistic, because agriculture and environment statistic is also part of the economic statistic activities. And so far we experience that even though we have a good statistic law, but we still have the challenge with the refusal from the enterprise or establishment owners when we conduct the data collection. So I would like to know from the different countries whether do you have the same thing, or do you have another mechanism how to reduce the refusal establishment? Yes, thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Cambodia. I would like to thank all the delegations and the international agencies that have provided you very valuable comments on this agenda item. I now give the floor to Ms. Monk Hansen to provide us with a brief summary of the key points raised under the agenda item 3A. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished delegates, let me try to provide a brief summary for the report of the session. The committee thanked the steering group, in particular its chair, its co-chairs, and its coordination group for the impressive work done so far. The committee confirmed its commitment to the regional program on economic statistics and also noted that such commitment has been expressed in a few of the deliverables of the regional program, such as the Vladivostok outcome statement. The committee expressed particular appreciation to the Russian Federation and to DFID for the commitment of financial support to the implementation of the program. In the context of program implementation, the committee noted the importance of the development of national strategies, and that implementation for the regional program lies with the national statistical systems, supported by development partners in a well-coordinated manner. Further to the development of national strategies, the committee stressed the importance of reflecting economic statistics properly in such strategies, including the demands by users at the national and international level. The committee also stressed the importance of skills development, including e-learning, as well as advocacy training, and also recognize the work of SIAP in that context. On the preparations for national strategy development, particular attention was attached to the recent experience in the Mongolian national statistical system, and the committee suggested that such experience be replicated elsewhere. The committee also acknowledged the important role of business registers, including their link to modernization efforts, and suggested that the emphasis on such important elements of statistical infrastructure be continued in the regional program. One member of the committee suggested that an informal group specifically on business registers be formed. In the context of the post-2015 development agenda, the committee recognized the need to review national statistics development strategies, including on economic statistics, and noted that the emerging development agenda be kept in mind in the reviews proposed by the Bureau. The committee welcomed that economic dimensions of development have been recognized in the current proposals for the post-2015 development agenda, and one delegation noted particularly that trade and business statistics could be part of future capacity development efforts in that regard. Finally, the committee recognized as a general issue related to capacity development that the special concerns and financial needs of small island states, including the particular challenges with small numbers of staff and the related challenges to the core sets that are developed under the regional programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Rike, for that concise summary. It is now time to adjourn for our lunch break. Before that, I would like to remind you that ILO will be giving a short presentation at 13:30 in this same room. So I would like to urge you all to attend it. And may I ask that we all return to the conference room ready to take up the agenda item 3A under the regional initiatives at 2 p.m. And before we go for break, I understand that the Secretariat wishes to make some administrative announcements.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very short announcement. Just to note that there is a fine cafeteria here where delegates may purchase their lunch. It's just outside of this conference room and on the left, and there'll be Secretariat staff on hand to guide you if you're a first-time visitor to the United Nations Conference Centre. Thank you.
L'ordinateur, c'est ça.
L'ordinateur, c'est ça?
ILO.
Ok. Oh, ça va.
We just...
Yeah,
C'est
ok.
ça, donc
Tu la
on
fermes,
laisse.
puis on laisse. Ou bien on laisse ouvert et on la descend.
Tu fais comme ça et c'est ça.
Voilà.
Ok.
Donc,
I guess they're gonna show some... Ils vont montrer quelque chose pendant les breaks.
Il faut montrer quelque chose pendant le break.
Moi, je pense que c'est une sorte de vidéo.
Oui, oui, oui. Non, non, donc, ouais. Donc à 15, je viens ici.
Mais qui gère l'ordinateur? C'est n'importe quoi.
Je sais pas, ça veut dire qu'on se débrouille, quoi. C'est
Ouais.
ça que j'allais dire.
C'est gratuit.
Non, peut-être c'est Aaron. Hein? C'est pas...
But you know that 1:30